What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You'll return to subscribe. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Temporarily forgot my lines. But anyway, guys, I'm going to continue coverage on the story as more sick information has come out about the death of this young lady right here that you guys remember from New Britain, Connecticut, 12-year-old Jacqueline Torres. Now, more information has came out, and I mentioned this briefly in my live stream yesterday, about how the mother told DCF on a video call that a little girl in the video call was Jacqueline, when they were doing a just a checkup on her to see if she was okay, being that she was supposed to be homeschooled. Come to find out, this girl was dead months before that. And they sat up there and played charades, or not charades, but they had another child stand in to act like they were her while she was dead in the basement in a storage bin. Don't you think about that? Here's the latest of this, and look at the second video. It's absolutely disgusting, where it talks about the timeline of events and how sick these people were with covering up a heinous crime against a child that was their family member. Take a look.
And first on Eyewitness News at 6, shocking new developments in the Jacqueline Torres case. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Stephanie Simone.
And I'm Brian Shackman. The girl's remains were found last week in New Britain, and now the Department of Children and Families is releasing a detailed timeline of its involvement with Jacqueline and her family.
And your reporter Dylan Fearon breaks it all down as we follow this developing news tonight. Dylan.
Well, DCF was involved in Jacqueline's life right from the very beginning, because when Jacqueline Torres was born 12 years ago, her mother, Carla Garcia, was being held in a detention center. A stunning new development released by DCF tonight. In January this year, the department was investigating concerns into Jacqueline's sister. Jacqueline, according to police, had been dead for multiple months, but officials had no idea. So when DCF came asking questions, Jacqueline's mother, Carla Garcia, allegedly said Jacqueline was being homeschooled and was out of state. But DCF wanted to conduct a video call with Jacqueline to make sure she was okay. In a shocking allegation, DCF claims Carla Garcia had a different child pretend to be Jacqueline on a video call to calm DCF's concerns. DCF also says it provided services to Jacqueline's family from 2014 to 2016 and briefly in 2017 and 2021. We've learned Jacqueline attended 3 medical appointments this decade, and DCF didn't receive any reports of child abuse or neglect. There's also been a major push this week for homeschooling reform in Connecticut, one of the few states with little to no regulations.
The fact that these abusers can use homeschooling to hide their children from mandated reporters and can hide this abuse is super disturbing. And that's one of the reasons we would like periodic check-ins, just to ensure that the child is safe.
Los Fidel is spearheading this push to lawmakers, starting a petition with more than 6,000 signatures in 2 days, calling for Mimi's Law, after Jacqueline's nickname. The law would require periodic in-person checks for homeschooled children with the state. Fidel is calling for state employees to wear body cameras at family check-ins and prohibit convicted child abusers from living with children, which happened in Jacqueline's case with her aunt, Jacqueline Torres. Of course, Fidel needs the attention of state lawmakers. He's reached out to many of them, hoping they'll listen.
I am hoping that other people and lawmakers can affect or I suppose make legislative changes that will ensure the safety of all children. I think they're absolutely disgusting. I think those people deserve everything that God has on their path. I believe that they should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. I think it's horrible what that child endured.
And that petition is on change.org. Just search Jacqueline Torres. Meanwhile, the Senate GOP is commenting tonight on the video call between DCF and the child Carla Garcia claimed was Jacqueline, but wasn't, writing, "Infuriating. DCF admits to being duped via Zoom. The state of Connecticut failed Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. That's outrageous. That's inexcusable. That's heartbreaking. We now need more answers. We need full details of this video call. We need full transparency." Certainly more to come on this part of the investigation next week. I'm your reporter, Dylan Fearon, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Good evening. We do thank you for joining us here for the news at 5. I'm Keisha Grant.
And I'm Mike Heideck. We'll get to those stories in just a moment. But first, the Department of Children and Families is now explaining its involvement with a 12-year-old Jacqueline Torres Garcia, whose remains were found in New Britain.
DCF has faced intense questioning since it was revealed the department had been involved with the family. NBC Connecticut's Matt Austin is joining us now in studio to break down this timeline that they're providing.
Yeah,
Matt.
so Keisha and Mike, a lot to walk through here. The Department of Children and Families thought its last time seeing Jacqueline Torres Garcia was during a video call earlier this year, but police believe that was actually months after her death, and now there are questions about the identity of the girl who apparently posed as Jacqueline. Now, going back, the department says they were first involved with the family in January 2013 when Jacqueline was born and her mother, Carla Garcia, was in a detention center. Jacqueline was placed with her father's family, and that's where she remained until 2022. Family court documents indicate the girl, known as Mimi, lived with her grandmother, Patricia Delgado.
Only God is helping me. God is helping me to pass this process. I've been with her forever, and I'm always going to be here.
Now, in May of 2022, DCF says a superior court returned guardianship of Jacqueline back to her mother and father, including with support from DCF, the prior relatives, and the child's attorney. They also interacted with Jacqueline in September that year during an investigation involving her younger siblings. The department says the kids were enrolled in school and seen in the community during that time. DCF determined the children were safe. That case was later closed. In May of 2024, DCF says Jacqueline attended a medical appointment, and between November of 2022 and the fall of 2024, there had been no reports of child abuse or neglect with the family. Jacqueline's mother filed and was granted sole custody by the family court in June 2024, which DCF says it was not involved with. Police say the girl likely died in the fall of that year. Then months later, in January of 2025, DCF was investigating allegations concerning Jacqueline's younger sibling. In a statement, DCF wrote in part, Ms. Garcia stated at the time of our investigation that Jacqueline was being homeschooled and staying temporarily out of state with a relative. In response, DCF conducted a video call with the person who mother claimed to be Jacqueline, but again, police believe Jacqueline had been dead by then, so it's unclear who they actually spoke with. DCF says that information has been turned over to law enforcement and is still actively reviewing the situation, and lawmakers have concerns.
And I have a lot of questions about this, and I want to see my eyes on those reports, not a report about the report.
And today, state Democratic lawmakers have not gotten back to us, but previously the chairs of the Children's Committee had said DCF had, quote, failed the girl. We're told Jacqueline's siblings are now in state custody. And New Britain schools just provided these documents Jacqueline's mom filed in August 2024 to pull her daughter out of school and the plan to homeschool her. So lots of questions still, of course, about everything. Mike and Keisha.
This investigation is going to continue for a while, Matt. Thank you.
All right, guys, that's the latest. These people are so sick that they had another little girl stand in to take the place of her dead daughter or dead family member while she pretended that the girl was alive and well while she was dead in the basement at a home. How sick is that? What should happen to these type of people? And you know, I have my own ideas, but then again, who cares what I think? But I'm going to talk to you about two things. First thing is this. Have you guys, well, I know you have, but I'm going to just say this as if, like, you know, it's new. How many of you people out there have ever had a job or wanted to do a job that you thought was prestigious or something you were passionate about? And then when you get this job, overdoing it so many years, you become complacent with it and it becomes not as lackluster as you thought. And a lot of people that look at you in your position at all don't know the half of just the boredom that you're suffering, to where your job, though a lot of people think it's fun and exciting, it's just another 9 to 5 to you. I think this is the justice system. I also think this is DFS in most states. I think it is. You know, people come and they might have an idea of, yeah, we want to help and we want to make differences. But once you get in that big seat, a lot of times it's a lot of smoke and mirrors that other people don't see that you see. And you just become another cog in the wheel of bullshit out here. You know, whether you want to or not. I think that's the same thing with the justice system and the same thing with DFS. I remember back in the day, DFS had a reputation almost like the FBI. If somebody said they was going to call the state on you or something regarding motherfuckers would straighten up. Ain't like that no more. People used to be scared of getting locked up. Ain't like that no more. It's like a rite of passage for being an adult with a dumbass mindset. What you think about this? This girl was dead. And they were playing a game with her body in the basement and involving other children. I didn't know she was born when her mom was locked up. The dad had the baby. How the fuck did he give it back to her? Then the grandmom's watching the kid. Where the fuck was the dad? Was he locked up? Either way, a lot of people failed. It's crazy. This shit is absolutely crazy. Children have been getting killed for the longest time. You ever notice that no lawmakers or politician ever watches and it clicks in their head and says, you know what? This needs to stop. And I'm going to start a mass movement to protect children and other people in this nation. How do you come up with disagreements when you're trying to pass laws to protect children? What you think about that? This little girl should be alive. Other children out here that I covered being killed in this past year and years before this should still be alive. They always tell you that children are the future and children are this and children are that. They put more effort in protecting endangered species of animals than they do with human beings, being one themselves. That's the issue I have. So I deal with a lot of common sense. And common sense, a lot of times, is a winner of arguments. If somebody don't want to listen, sometimes you let them stay on that speeding train until they hit rock bottom. And then a lot of times their ears are open for suggestions to get them out of the mess they made. These people are fucking dog shit. And people like them that do this type of stuff. And there are more people in line waiting to take their place on the news, waiting to do something for their kids, to their kids, or some kids are going through the same thing little Jacqueline went through and are suffering in silence right now. Why? Because the system don't give a shit. It don't. People rather collect a paycheck and take honors in a title than really protecting people that will come after them that could really make a difference. We kill our potential every day in this damn country by wiping out those that come after us, that we bring into the world, whether they wanted us to be their parents or not. I don't know my father. You know what I'm saying? But my grandparents and grandmother raised me. And I'm thankful for that, because God knows where I'd be. And if I could wind up being one of these children here, if the cards fell out of my favor. I want you to think about this. These children are getting wiped out like people pulling weeds in their own front yard and just thrown and discarded, whether they're put in trash cans or storage totes. You hear me say this all the time. This is the new reality out here. And it needs to be met head on with the random acts of violence, crimes against children, crimes against the innocent, and people need to be protected. And there need to be laws in place to where when you break them, all hell will be broken loose on your ass. We don't see this. Another thing is this: what kind of heart and mind do you have? Bad enough that you take your own daughter's life, but you keep covering it up and keep throwing dirt on the name of your child while acting like she's still here, she's happy, she's with relatives, or she's this when she's in your fucking basement. What do you think about that? Maybe it's me. Maybe, only when you have a daughter can you understand seeing somebody else's daughter dead, and then the horrific ways of just how this whole thing was discovered. And then you think about your own child and how that would crush you and destroy your sense of reality or faith in the justice system, which nobody really has no more. But they'll still smile up here with their stupid suits and their leather chairs and their gavels, and they'll sit up here and they'll talk to you and they'll tell you, we're going to do the best we can, or we're going to bring somebody to justice. And a lot of people are falling for it because these people are in a depressive state after losing somebody, and they just want a glimmer of hope that something would be done. when not enough is done. These people will get life. They'll take deals for lesser charges. They'll go to jail. Taxpayers will pay for their fucking meals. Somebody will put money on their books. While little Jacqueline will still be in the fucking dirt, turning to dust. They'll get complacent. They'll make friends in prison. They'll have hope of getting out one day. No matter how long they are in there, they'll see a glint of light at the end of the tunnel where this child's life was faded to black. And you tell me, how the fuck is that any justice when people kill children and don't get killed themselves in the same sick, twisted fate? That's all I got to say. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Excuse me. I will see you in the next video. Take care. I ain't gonna say justice for Jacqueline, but you know, it's just messed up that she's not gonna get. These people are not gonna get what they really deserve for what they did to this child in destroying both her spirit, her life, and her potential. See you in the next video. Take care.